Welcome to your quiet study space. Today, we are going to build a safe, low-pressure pharmacy simulator right inside your headphones. Imagine it is Monday afternoon. You are at the pharmacy counter with a terrible chest cough, and when the pharmacist asks if it is productive or dry, you freeze in a moment of pure vulnerability, terrified of buying the wrong medicine.
I remember the first time I went to an American pharmacy. I bought allergy pills that made me sleep for 14 hours straight because I was simply too nervous to ask the pharmacist about side effects in English.
By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to describe your symptoms accurately and ask the right safety questions, step by step, without the panic.
That feeling of freezing at the pharmacy counter is something I think every single person learning English has experienced. It is so completely different from ordering a coffee or asking for directions. If you get the wrong coffee, you just drink a bad coffee. If you use the wrong word at the pharmacy, you might end up taking something that makes you feel much worse.
Exactly. The stakes are so much higher, and pharmacies themselves are intimidating places. Usually, there's a line of people waiting behind you, the pharmacist is busy typing on a computer, and they usually speak very quickly because they have a lot of customers to see. It is the perfect recipe for panic.
And when we panic, our minds just go blank. All those medical vocabulary lists we tried to memorize suddenly disappear. I remember standing there looking at a wall of hundreds of different boxes of medicine, all with long scientific names, and feeling completely helpless. I just wanted to point at my head and say, "Make it stop hurting."
That vulnerability is so real. You are already not feeling well. Your energy is low. The last thing you want to do is navigate a complex conversation in a second language. But today, we're going to take all that pressure away. We're going to slow everything right down.
I love that. We do not need a massive textbook of medical terms. We just need a few highly effective protective phrases that we can rely on when we're feeling sick and tired.
That's the goal. We're going to listen to a completely natural conversation between a pharmacist and a patient. Then we'll break it apart. We'll look at how to describe what is happening in your body, and most importantly, how to ask questions to keep yourself safe. Finally, we'll practice speaking these phrases out loud together.
So wherever you are right now, whether you're walking in the park, sitting on the bus, or relaxing at home, just take a deep breath. You do not need to take notes. Just let the language wash over you.
Let's listen to the pharmacy dialogue first. In this scenario, Mark, you'll play the busy pharmacist, and I'll play the patient who is coming in with a bad cough.
Sounds good. Let's set the scene. I'm standing behind the high counter, typing on my keyboard. You walk up. "Hello there. How can I help you today?"
Hi, I've been dealing with a dry cough for about 3 days now.
I see. Are you having any other symptoms? Any fever or body aches?
No, just the cough, but it's keeping me awake at night. Can you recommend something over the counter?
Sure. There's a cough suppressant in aisle 4 that works really well for dry coughs. It will help calm your throat so you can sleep.
Okay, thank you. Does this medication cause drowsiness?
Yes, the nighttime version will definitely make you sleepy, so please do not drive after taking it.
Good to know. And what is the correct dosage for an adult?
You'll want to take 30 milliliters every 6 hours as needed. Just make sure to read the label on the back of the box.
Perfect. I'll go find it in aisle 4. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome. I hope you feel better soon.
And scene. That's it. That's the entire conversation. It's short, it's polite, and it completely solves the problem safely.
It felt very calm, but as I was playing the pharmacist, I noticed you used some very specific phrases. When you first walked up to the counter, I expected you to just say, "I have a cough," but you didn't say that.
No, I did not.
You said, "I've been dealing with a dry cough for 3 days." That felt so much more natural, but it's a longer sentence. Why did you choose to say it that way?
That's such an important question, Mark. When we learn English in a classroom, we're taught to say, I have. I have a headache. I have a cold. I have a cough. And scientifically, that's true. But when you're standing at the pharmacy, you're not just stating a fact. You're telling the pharmacist a story about your suffering.
A story about your suffering. I really like how you describe that.
Yes, when you say, I've been dealing with, you're telling the pharmacist that this is an ongoing struggle. It didn't just start 5 seconds ago. It's been bothering you, and you've been trying to manage it. It builds immediate empathy.
I have been dealing with. It has a real heaviness to it. It sounds like you are tired of the problem.
Exactly. And grammatically, without getting too technical, it shows that the action started in the past and is still happening right now. But you do not need to memorize the grammar rule. You just need to remember the feeling of the phrase, I have been dealing with. It is the perfect way to introduce any uncomfortable symptom.
Could I use that for things other than a cough?
Absolutely. You can use it for almost any physical problem. I have been dealing with a terrible headache. I have been dealing with lower back pain. I have been dealing with a sore throat.
What about non-medical things? Could I say, I have been dealing with a really noisy neighbor?
Yes, you can. It works beautifully for that too. It just means you are facing a frustrating, ongoing situation. But in the context of the pharmacy, it is your golden ticket to starting the conversation perfectly. It sounds incredibly natural and fluent.
Let us talk about the next part of that sentence. You said, a dry cough. When I hear the word dry, I think of the desert or a towel left out in the sun. What does a dry cough mean?
This is a crucial distinction that pharmacists need to know to give you the right medicine. A dry cough means there's no mucus or phlegm coming up from your chest. It's just a tickle or an irritation in the back of your throat. It's the kind of cough that sounds like a bark.
Oh, I hate those. They hurt your throat so much.
They really do. Now, the opposite of a dry cough in medical terms is usually called a productive cough, or sometimes people just say a wet cough.
Productive. That is funny because productive usually means getting a lot of work done at the office.
It is a strange word, is it not? But in a medical sense, a productive cough means your body is producing something. It means you have mucus in your chest that you are trying to clear out. The reason this vocabulary is so important is that the medicine for a dry cough is completely different from the medicine for a productive cough.
Really? I actually did not know that. I always just bought whatever box had a picture of lungs on it.
That is a very common mistake. If you have a dry cough, you need a medicine that stops the cough reflex so you can rest. But if you have a productive cough, you want a medicine that helps break up the mucus so you can get it out. If you take the wrong one, you could trap the mucus in your chest and get much sicker.
Wow, so knowing the difference between dry and productive is not just a language lesson, it's an actual safety necessity.
Exactly. And that is why we are slowing down and practicing this today.
I want to pause right here and ask our listeners to think about this. I want you to mentally scan your own body or remember the last time you were sick. Try to finish this sentence in your head right now. I have been dealing with. What is the problem? Just hold that thought in your mind. We're going to practice speaking it out loud very soon.
That is a great exercise. Let us move to the next part of the dialogue. After I explained my symptom, I asked a very specific question. I said, can you recommend something over the counter?
Yes, over the counter. I remember the first time I heard this phrase, I was very confused. I pictured someone physically passing a box of medicine over a wooden table. What does it actually mean?
You are not entirely wrong with that mental picture. In English, we divide medicine into two main categories, prescription medicine and over-the-counter medicine. A prescription is the official piece of paper or electronic note from your doctor that gives you permission to buy strong medication.
Right. You can't just walk in and buy those. The pharmacist has to check your file and prepare it for you.
Exactly. But over-the-counter medication means it's safe enough for you to buy directly from the store shelves without a doctor's permission. Vitamins, basic painkillers, normal cough syrups, these are all over-the-counter.
Sometimes I see it written on boxes as just the letters OTC.
Yes, OTC is the abbreviation. So when you say to the pharmacist, can you recommend something over the counter? You are clearly telling them, I don't have a doctor's note, I just need something simple I can buy right now to feel better.
It's a very polite and clear way to ask for help. Instead of wandering the aisles reading boxes for 30 minutes, you just ask the expert.
If you're enjoying this calm, step-by-step approach to mastering real-world English, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We create these quiet study spaces every single week so you can build your confidence in situations that actually matter in your daily life.
And we love having you here with us. Let us look at the next crucial vocabulary word. This one hits very close to home for me, considering my story about sleeping for 14 hours. You ask the pharmacist, does this medication cause drowsiness?
Drowsiness. It's a long, heavy word.
It feels heavy to say. Drowsiness. What is the exact difference between feeling drowsy and just feeling tired? Because if I work a 10-hour shift, I feel tired. But I do not think I feel drowsy.
That is a beautiful observation. Tiredness is the natural physical exhaustion from living your life. Your muscles ache, your brain is full, but drowsiness is a chemical, biological heaviness. It is that irresistible feeling that your eyelids are closing and you cannot keep your head up, no matter how hard you try.
Like when you take an allergy pill and suddenly the room is spinning slowly and the bed looks like the most inviting place on earth.
Precisely. Medical drowsiness is dangerous if you are driving a car or operating machinery. That is why it is one of the most important questions you can ever ask a pharmacist. Does this medication cause drowsiness?
If I cannot remember the noun, drowsiness, can I use the adjective? Can I say, will this make me drowsy?
Absolutely. Will this make me drowsy is perfect. You could also simply ask, will this make me sleepy? The pharmacist will understand you perfectly, but you will very often see the word drowsiness printed on the warning labels of the medicine box, so it is vital to recognize it when you read it.
That makes sense. The label always says, caution may cause drowsiness. I definitely ignored that label my first year living abroad.
We all learn the hard way sometimes. The final word we need to look at from our dialogue is the word dosage. I asked, what is the correct dosage for an adult?
Dosage. Is that just a fancy word for dose? Like a dose of medicine?
They are very closely related, but there is a slight difference. A dose is a single, specific amount you take at one time. For example, your dose is 2 pills. But dosage refers to the overall schedule and amount of the medicine plan. So the dosage might be 2 pills every 6 hours for 5 days.
Ah, I see. So when you ask for the dosage, you're asking for the complete instruction manual on how to consume the medicine safely.
Exactly. It covers how much, how often, and for how long. What is the correct dosage? It is a question that shows you are responsible and want to use the medication correctly.
These phrases are so powerful. I have been dealing with over-the-counter, drowsiness, dosage. If you just have these 4 concepts in your pocket, you can walk into any pharmacy in the world and take care of yourself.
That is the magic of learning situation-based English. You do not need to know 1,000 words. You just need the right 20 words, practiced until they feel like second nature.
Speaking of practice, I think it is time we build our simulator.
I agree. This is the most important part of our episode today. Listening to us explain the words is wonderful for your understanding, but understanding is not speaking. To build real confidence, your mouth and your tongue need to physically practice making these sounds.
Muscle memory.
Exactly. We are going to guide you through a shadowing exercise. I will say a phrase slowly, then we will leave a quiet pause in the audio. During that pause, I want you to speak the phrase out loud. Do not just think it in your head. Actually move your mouth and let the sound come out.
Even if you're on the train, just whisper it softly to yourself. No one will notice. And if you're at home, speak it with a strong, clear voice.
Let us start by practicing the physical rhythm of our main symptom phrase. Listen to how the words connect together. I've been dealing with a dry cough. Notice how dealing with and all link together. Dealing with dealing with
It flows like a river. Dealing with a dry cough.
Now it's your turn. Listen, take a breath, and repeat after me. I've been dealing with a dry cough. I've been dealing with a dry cough. A dry cough. I've been dealing with a dry cough. I've been dealing with a dry cough. Excellent. You are doing great. Feel how the sentence starts low and then places the stress on the actual problem, a dry cough.
Let's practice substituting different symptoms. Imagine your head is pounding. You've had a headache all day. Repeat after me.
I've been dealing with a terrible headache. I've been dealing with a terrible headache.
Now imagine your back hurts. You've been lifting heavy boxes and you're in pain.
I've been dealing with lower back pain. I've been dealing with lower back pain. Good. Now let's practice asking the pharmacist for a recommendation. Remember the phrase over the counter. Notice how native speakers turn those 3 words into one connected sound, over the counter. Can you recommend something over the counter? Can you recommend something over the counter?
And now the safety check. You want to make sure you don't fall asleep at work. You need to ask about drowsiness.
Does this medication cause drowsiness? Does this medication cause drowsiness?
Beautiful. Let's do the alternate version, just in case you prefer the adjective.
Will this make me drowsy? Will this make me drowsy?